You're up, Al. Thanks, buddy.
Wow.
Listen, hey, welcome guys to Making Waves 13. Obviously, that's Al paying tribute to one of his heroes, obviously Eddie Van Halen, and he hell, where he's everyone's hero. Let's not kid ourselves. Welcome, guys. It's Making Waves number 13 here on September. Oh, sorry, shit, God, I'm so lost.
It's close.
I'm so lost seriously from yesterday that I can't even make sense of anything right now. So October 7th, it's Making Waves 13. And guys, we are stoked here because one of our dear good friends, one of the Shiprock family, for fuck's sake, is here.
Chad, make some noise for Chad.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, wait for you. Yeah. And you guys know Chad from Wilson and also the host of Shiprock. So welcome. So real quick, guys, if this is your first time to join us on Making Waves, or if you've come back, we thank you for coming back. Remember, you can ask questions for Elias in our comments as you follow along, or just listen to the stories that these guys are going to tell. Pour yourself a drink, or just sit there quietly, whatever you want to do. So we just had Al, and by the way, guys, the lamp tonight, pure Van Halen.
It's got. What happened to Al? Does Al not hang out? Is he not hanging out?
Nah, he's gone, man. He did his part.
Oh man,
it's red, guys. It's red. So
it is.
Thank
I
you.
love it. It's beautiful.
Listen,
just a tip, and then he's got a dip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
it's classic Al.
I get
it. So guys, everyone, again, sorry, we're a little all over the joint today. Welcome again, Making Waves 13 with Elias from Nonpoint and Chad from Wilson. Hey, listen, guys, real quick. Al just did a little montage there of Eddie V. Real quick before we start, just your thoughts on the guy.
Honestly, it happened so soon. I know everyone's saying that. It's 65 is, it's around the same age that I lost my dad, and it definitely felt way too soon. So, I know a lot of people are hurting. BC, our old guitar player, named his daughter Halen after Eddie, and it was like his hero. So we all immediately got, on the phones and reached out because we knew it was going to be like, one of his uncles kind of passed. So it's pretty, it's hit pretty close to home.
Yeah. Chad?
Yeah. I mean, I learned how to jump from Van Halen, I mean, for real, when I was younger, right? My parents used to bop me up and down. I mean, that was some of the first, real guitar playing, I think, that I can remember hearing. And also the thing that was beautiful about Eddie in general is the fucking band is named after the guitar player, right? And how many times and there's a vocalist, right? Yeah. So how many times do you see that sort of legacy lend itself as far as just from being an innovator of not only the instrument, but our game, what we do as a living. And he changed the game for a lot of guitar players, put them in the spotlight for sure. He's
Yeah,
incredible legacy
people
of
are
this
always
band.
talking about what's the difference between Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen, and my take always been like Hendrix, you didn't know what you're seeing, you just didn't know what it was because it was so new. Eddie, you kind of knew, but you're like fathom like how in the hell I'm going to play like that. But he did make people pick up their instruments, and listen, he's a soundtrack to everyone's youth. There's no doubt about it that band. I mean, yes, they Hagar and everything, but that first 6 albums, that's like the template. So anyway, listen, we want to give a shout out to Wolfgang Van Halen. Wolfie's part of the Shiprock family as well. He's been on with us, and as he played with Tremonti, and I know he's hurting too. So prayers to him and his entire family and all the fans out there for Van Halen. But enough about that. Let's get on to what music is about, and that's bringing us together and having some fun and joyful. So I'm going to go ahead and let Elias and Chad talk, and let's get on with the show. This is going to be a good time, guys. So everyone buckle up.
I'm so happy that I get to see your face because there's one thing that I like you walking into like a room. I remember, so I've been a huge fan of Nonpoint since since the band existed, and I was a wee little rocker. I started playing guitar and learned some of my first guitar licks to your early records. The specifically what we're going to talk about this evening, and whenever I saw you the first time I met you on Shiprocked, actually, the first Shiprock that Wilson played, I was so nervous. And we had a mutual friend from years ago in this band called Sunset Black, Brandon. And I called him before I got on the ship, and I said, because I was a huge fan, right? And I'm like, I'm going to meet Elias. He's like, dude. I was kind of freaking out, And he said, dude, coolest dude ever, brah. Don't even worry about it, brah. And
Brandon, that's so Brandon.
Yeah, and we came out and we got along not only swimmingly, but like your face in existence, it lights up a room, man. So I just wanted to say it's cool to do this face to face and
Thanks,
not like
man.
over the call,
Oh man, I appreciate it. You've always been again a sweet face and a kind heart in our entire genre. So it's good to see other smiling faces.
Oh my God, especially right now, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's good. It's good mojo, and I feel like it's infectious. So, birds of a feather.
They gotta flock together.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys have been working your before we started this, we're talking about some of the projects that you have pushed through in this time down, and probably, and be honest with you, dude, like I don't think we've had another guest on here that has been that busy now that I put all those things in perspective during this time and utilizing what is a very dark period of time for music to find and give hope to us fans, but not only that, pin hope for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, can we just jump right into it? Can I ask you about the Remember Me campaign? I watched that come up.
Yeah. Well, we I feel like a bit of a broken record because I mentioned this before, but you got to kind of see the scope of where we were coming out of. Over the last about 2.5 years, I mean, you've been following us for years. We really have had, our handlers and our managers and our labels and, agents and everyone, we came up at a time where it was a lot of people taking care of, a lot of artist teams. That took care of you. Yeah. So my education was always very neophyte when it came to staying ahead of the curve of watching what the industry was doing and being able to adjust. And as we got to this 10th record, we were looking at a lot of things and making a lot of decisions. And, a friend of mine, posed a question about our socials and about a lot of our content. And they felt like, we were this amazing live band and we really needed to capture it. So, we brought on this amazing photographer, Francesca Ludicar, who's basically, become our creative director, and pointed our direction at our socials and helped us, figure out what it was that our audience was going to bring our audience back to our online profiles. And one of the things was, our our online show. I mean, our live show. So, you know, she really got in there. Frankie's amazing. Her skill set behind a camera is unbelievable. But then, you know, with that also came this just unbelievable knowledge of how, you know, social media works and how profiles work. And we really took you know, me in particularly, I just jumped right into it and decided that I was going to learn everything I possibly could about it. I started doing a lot of marketing, started learning how to write a lot of ad copy and captions, and then really just started diving into our you know, all of our social, you know, profiles. By the time we looked 2 years later, we had doubled our Instagram numbers, and you know, our engagement was literally 4 or 5 times what it used to be. And then we started doing other things on our socials that we had never done before, like selling merch. I know that sounds crazy, but we really didn't have a lot of our, you know, those kind of ducks in a row, because again, we had people that kind of took care of that stuff for us throughout our careers.
Right.
And then, you know, we took that, you know, that kind of direction. And then we started dropping our music into it, and got prepared for a new record, and went into the studio and started to toss around some stuff, and, you know, went home to take a bit of a break and a hiatus, just to, you know, just get our heads kind of cleared up. And then bang, the pandemic hit. And then it was, you know, coming off the heels of 2 years of really curating our socials, you know, people are like, where's Nonpoint? Where's Nonpoint? Where's Nonpoint? And we're like, oh, we wanted to take a break. And then it was like, no, we can't take a break right now. People are bummed out. You know, we'd like to have fun on our socials and engage with our audience. I like to make our fans laugh. It's just something I like to fucking do. You know, we came back immediately knowing that, you know, we had to address COVID and everything that was going on. So we started with Alive and Kicking. And it immediately took. And, you know, we were more nervous that it was going to get lost in the traffic of everything else that was going on. But more so, it just gave it just gave everybody something to kind of lean on more than anything. And then coming off the heels of that, we had a lot of essential workers, and what we started calling the non-essential essential workers, that, you know, when you're a nurse or a doctor or a police officer or a fire, you know, person, you choose to, you know, to throw your life into that, you know, think of someone else's safety before your own. Obviously you're trained, but you're built that way. You know, delivery people, stock people, you know, grocery store workers, cashiers, they did not ask for this shit, you know, right. And they don't get paid doctor money, nurse money, police money. They have to go and deal with something that, you know, those same people that are compensated for it, but also too are built for it, are dealing with. So I felt like that, we felt like the band felt like that needed to be addressed too, because our fans were reaching out going, thank you for addressing this, because we're out here like, what the hell's going on? And, you know, we need more people addressing it. So that's when Remember Me came up.
And what was your first original intentions there to obviously create some sort of, I mean, everybody's looking for some sort of support, right? Like, I don't know if I can make it, or like you said, no one even cares that I'm putting myself in the line of business, because I'm not going to shut down. So how do not just necessarily I should get paid hazard pay, right? That's the version of your mind might go there, but people aren't thinking about the fact that, like, we're talking about the heart and soul of our country, of our economy, of how we as people get from A to B, gas stations, right? Or how we get from tomorrow is the sustenance in our bodies, you know, and all those massive pieces of infrastructure just for human existence, and totally underserved, right, at this period of time. So thinking about, like you said,
and underappreciated. so
Totally.
underappreciated, and
Screaming at people in stores while they're, while they're just
yeah,
trying to do their job,
yeah, just please put a mask on. It's I'm my daughter has asthma. My wife has rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, so she has pre-existing condition. My mother has diabetes. I'm worried about this for my family, and the more people start to care about the person next to you, the faster we're gonna get through this.
Absolutely. And do you guys have, it was a success? Did you find a lot, I mean, not just, whatever the money that you may or may not have raised for it, but
we didn't, we didn't expect what happened with it. It really gave a, like I said, it brought some happiness to what we felt like was a really glum time for everybody. And then, people knowing what we were going to do with the new stuff, if when we were talking about it, then all of a sudden the cover songs started coming up, and then that's when the cover campaign came up. We kept putting up, hey, what should we cover? We kept putting up these lists, and then we were getting all these amazing ideas, and we were bouncing it back and forth, and it kept changing. We're like, all right, we're going to cover this. And then somebody would put an awesome idea up. We're like, fuck, okay, maybe we'll cover this one. This is a good one. So then we just decided to let everybody, choose in sort of a NCAA kind of way.
Yeah, like it reminded me. I love those. Did you play Gus Smacker ever? Is that like a thing in anybody else's life? Maybe it was just a Michigan thing. It's like a young. You've been in the state for a little bit, and when you were there,
what Smacker?
It's called Gus Smacker. It's basically like a summer series of basketball teams, kids that play basketball put together 4-on-4 teams, right? There's a big local community that puts on this thing for all of the kids to play and adults. There's different, it's like any other version of hockey or whatever. There's a Pee-wee league, and so anyways, during the summer, there's 2 weeks of this where you kind of exactly like battle royale all the way down to being the winner, hopefully, and then the first person that loses in that final series or whatever, they get the toilet bowl, which is the fourth place. They made this whole entire process be hands-on and fun, similar to what I was getting cool. to your guys' ability to not only lean in on your fans but provide almost like a real-time visual to what they're putting in. So they're seeing that they're getting out of it. One, as a fan, the communication's there. And two, then you deliver, right? Yeah. And you guys, you're always good, not only from on the stage, from now off the stage, we're talking about it, delivering. And that's a huge thing. To see bands, to see Nonpoint, I should say, to see Nonpoint, because you're a leader in this space, raise their hand and say, listen, you can do good. You don't have to be so dark about this. It sucks, and we're not going to be able to see you soon. But we have this. And we have music, and we can do this together. We need your participation.
Yeah. And it really is balance. I try to explain to everybody I definitely use our platform to make awareness. You hear, I'm a person that wears a mask. So I'm a person that social distance. I make my efforts to make sure that the people around me are safe. At the same time, I know that if I'm sad, I'm going to make the people around me sad. So I have to be strong. When I am sad, the people around me that normally I'm making happy because I'm a lighthearted person, they'll pick me up when I'm, and it's ebb and flow, so that's basically what we try to do with our workplace too, is that, we did the serious stuff with the Alive and Kicking and Remember Me initiatives, but then, after that, we want to do something fun, and, covering Prince's When Doves Cry is, we thought it was going to be easy. We thought it was like, okay, it's going to be cool. We're going to knock this out, and then I forgot how long it took us to do In the Air Tonight. That song had 5 versions before we dropped that version. and we're
Yeah.
we're about number 5 right now with Dove's Cry. And the last idea that just came is absolutely the idea. So we're gonna get through this Saturday, and then we're going in to record that song.
Oh, incredible! So, are you guys? How? I mean, I assume some of you are together. Where are you? You said maybe you're not in Michigan anymore, right?
I'm in Michigan. I was in South Florida visiting, but
Gotcha.
I'm going up to Michigan back home. I'm only 2.5 hours from the guys, so whenever it's time to write stuff, I can bounce right over. Yeah.
Everybody else is still in Chicago, right?
Yeah, everybody else is in Chicago.
Hey, we're gonna take a question here from Jade. She's one of our ship rockers, and this is gonna be one of those going way back.
Yes, let's go.
Who and or what inspired you to want to make music?
Who and or what? That's a twofold question. First fold question was in high school. It was a young lady. I had a crush on a girl, and I found out in my performing arts, the magnet program in my high school, I had a performing arts program, super highly accredited, and I was in the technology high tech program, two different magnet programs in one school. But I found out that if you got into one of the plays in the performing arts side, that you got 2 weeks out of school for production. So you got like a week at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts in Fort Lauderdale to set up the show, and then you had a week of the show. So like I didn't even have to go to school for 2 weeks. So I'm like, man, I want to do that. And then there was this cute girl that was in the play that I wanted to try out for. So I did that, and that's how I got into
So it wasn't some band or some usual hey, I saw Jimmy Page and I wanted to be able to. Wow.
Okay, it's never some band.
No,
it's
never,
always some chick, right?
No. It was a girl in high school. It was in high school. Then
sure.
For Nonpoint, I was a host at a restaurant called Beverly Hills Cafe. I had just moved back in town from Tampa, and I was making extra money singing "Happy Birthday" to the old ladies at the table when we found out it was their birthday.
That is saucy. That's saucy.
So the waiters would give me money to go sing at their tables because I could sing in Italian because I just came out of a performing arts school. So I would sing "Happy Birthday" in Italian, and this bass player for this band called Nonpoint Factor asked me to come watch them jam. Mm-hmm. And I went to watch the boys jam, and lo and behold, a couple practices later, Rob, who was on the drums at the time, looked at me and was like, "So you gonna fucking pick up the mic or what?" And
in his usual candor,
kind of scared me into singing into the band.
His threatening demeanor.
Yeah, basically, he threatened me into the band, and like we were jamming for about 2 or 3 minutes, and he looked over at Hector, and Hector looked over at him, and he looked over at me, and he stopped playing, and he goes, "All right, you're in the band." And then that was it.
So basically, A, young lady, and then B, old ladies got you to this point. Okay, very good. Basically. Jade, I hope that helps you. It's women.
Yeah,
you guys
always.
Yeah.
Yes. Behind every strong man
is a stronger woman.
Is an even stronger woman.
Shout out the soul of a woman.
Lovely, amazing wife.
Was created below. So anyway, thanks, Jay. Thanks, Elias, for the answer. That's a great answer, by the way, and thank you. That's amazing.
Well, I gotta ask then. So, like, you and Rob, there's been some interchanging members, right? I mean, I think that still it's just the two of you of the from that period of time, right?
Correct.
That's quite the legacy. And you guys are coming up on what was it, 21 years, 22 years?
20, yeah, about to turn 21 years. But here's the thing: Nonpoint has been like Menudo, dare I say, because Nonpoint Factor started in Puerto Rico with a bunch of Puerto Rican dudes that I have never met, and Rob. So, and then
Wow.
they all came over. A couple of them came to Fort Lauderdale, hired some other guy named Mike, and then Hector, who was friends from Puerto Rico. And then they all started a new inception of Nonpoint with this other singer, Kermit. And then a couple other dudes came in and out. And, there's been a lot of, that's why I've never been really shook by member changes, because it's always been, it's never been, it's always just been a thing. It's never been an actual lineup. It's always just been
energy.
This thing that I like. It doesn't matter who's there. It's gonna stop when it decides to stop. I can't fucking stop it. It's just I thought a couple times it was gonna stop, honestly, but it just didn't.
Hey, listen, I want to piggyback what you just said from Jarna. She's a ship rocker, and she mentions Jason coming in. But now what you just said kind of goes to the whole band and the history of it. These additions that people come and go, how does that change the dynamic? Or is it basically Rob and you kind of like, we're still going this way, and whoever comes in, or what do they know? What's the dynamic? Because some bands change completely. They're inertia, everything changes.
There's purpose, and then there is your creative well. So there's always this band has been purposeful since the day basically Rob woke up and decided he was gonna have Nonpoint. He's a very strong-willed man, and so am I. So once the wheels start turning, they're gone. And there's really no turning back. But with that as well is optimism. Our band has a lot of, the music rings throughout the actual inner workings and infrastructure of our band emotionally. We try to keep each other positive and moving in, a positive direction. But at the same time too, we understand it's a business, and we try to keep ourselves, somewhat level-headed. But when it comes to creativity, when someone leaves and then someone comes in, I have a brand new well of guitar riffs, of bass lines, of vocal harmonies. There is it paints a completely, it gets me gassed, honestly, because now I get a chance to like hear something from another direction that I never heard before. You hear it when we got Dave and Rashid and Adam first in the band, when Dave was very periphery style with some of the stuff in the self-titled record, and then even into the Return. And then you heard BC starting to come in on the tail end of the Return with Poison Red, and then with X. So there was a lot of that, Eddie Van Halen kind of sound that kind of came into the band from Poison Red all the way through X. And now having Jason in the band, it literally went straight back to Andy, because Jason is ridiculous at rhythm guitars, and Rashid is stupid at rhythm. So two amazing rhythm guitar players just nailing it sounds like old Nonpoint to me, and makes me want to spit and get like it like I said, it literally adds a new creative cog to the wheel, that people go, okay, what can we expect now? And that's exactly what I want to happen.
Okay. So basically they're allowed to bring their creativity. It's not like, hey, you're just coming in, we need you to play this. They say, hey, I've got this. Okay. So, okay.
Of course there's
sure, there's established songs already, right?
Yeah, but there's established songs, but there's also too, hey, if people that join our band understand that they're joining our band. But at the same time too, it's all about giving them the freedom to play what they're proficient in, what they have fun playing, and what they can play awesome with their fucking eyes closed, so that way they can perform the way Nonpoint needs them to perform. So you can always write a good song. I can write a good song off of one string on a record. Just give me the fucking guitar. Yeah, but you know what I mean? No, but you know what I'm saying? It's all about, finding, what people want to do the most and what they have the most fun doing. And then they're going to play great enough to be in our band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you should be a fucking CEO of like whatever version of failing company that has the right mindset internally but just has no leader, because the idea of what you just said is super important. And I think that all of us have struggled with the ins and outs of bands for the most part, except for very few, especially in a rock band when you're coming up and you're a little bit maybe not 16, 17, 18 years old anymore, and real life might get in the way and you just have to make decisions, right?
Yeah.
And what you said was about the room. I look at what you just said reminded me of the idea of last night. I took a picture off of one wall in my room and out here in my living room, and I took it down and I said, I think I'm going to move that other picture from the other wall to where that was. But then after that, this chair below it just didn't feel right. And that I might sound manic here. No. Idea of what you are doing in that point. Now, once at the end of the night, right? At the end of the night, when I let the pieces of furniture that already existed inside of the room, move them around, I realized that my feng shui, right? My energy inside of it was different. And that was nothing to do with literally me at all, but everything to do with me, because it's how I'm reacting.
You're seeing it now. Yep.
Absolutely. And you're able to look at people for, especially, it's a huge thing what you just said. I don't know if anybody is like going to understand just how important it is to let the strengths of another human being raise their hand. Mm-hmm. Give them the space, especially when you're in a situation, give them the space to really own that, because it's going to bring out something better in the whole.
At the same time, you want to be transparent, and you want to help guide enthusiastic energy to be productive and inclusive. Because, just like I mentioned before, I want people to understand, because there has been that 20 years of me being in this band. When someone joins this band, I will never ask you to love this band as much as I love it. I can't expect it. You're going to be excited. You're going to be gassed. It's going to be great to be in the band, and it'll be new. And that's not true, man. I love it just as much as you. It's just like I've had 20 years of doing this one thing. This is my baby. So for me to have this happy kind of open mindset, I make sure that I'm open about where I feel like something isn't Nonpoint, where it may just be stepping a little bit outside of what I know after the 20 years, that I can look out at my audience and go, yeah, I'm being honest with you, and this is really what I love to do. I'm really loving everything that's going on behind me. That's what makes band. It's a band is a band. It's not a broken, it's not a line. It's not a lineup. It's a band for a reason, because it doesn't work if everybody's not all on the same page.
You make a great point there, because how many times I can't remember, my favorite part of shows sometimes are when, like, a singer like yourself finish a song and they don't say anything to the crowd. They just kind of turn and face the band members with this big smile on their face, like, man, we really fucking nailed that together. Mm-hmm. And that's always a great moment where the singer's actually taken aback by, like, this shit behind me that's going on is fucking amazing. I'm so glad to be part of this.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's the most important part of the day. So you know, give it its attention and give it its care and give it its due. You know, people almost over the last 20 years, I've had my moments, but a lot of people, I mean, Chad, you'll even see, we don't party as much as most other bands. And it's just because we know we have a show the next day. So I'll go kind of hard, but if my voice is kind of like on the edge and somebody runs up to me with a shot, I will turn it down every fucking time because I don't want to suck the next day, because it makes me not have a good time, and then that makes it not worth it for anybody.
And it's disrespectful for the people who are coming to the next show,
Yeah.
right? And it took me a long. I mean, it took our band, because, you know, when we started, it was a situation where, like, we all came from other bands. We all done some sort of touring at some point. But at the end of the day, this thing was never supposed to be on a ship, right? It was just supposed to be this bar band that played at the college campus. I didn't want to sing all it because I sang. I was like a pretty proficient singer in the other band. Like, I'm talking like, but like then I just wanted to get drunk and do stupid shit, right? When Wilson started. Never thought it would get as far as you did. And it took us a while to realize that, like, that fucking party thing, it's not cool when you're putting it up against somebody who's really looking forward to hearing that song that next day, or seeing you in a good mood or whatever. And as disrespectful as you might feel when I'm like, I know it says fucking party on our shirt, but today's Friday, so tomorrow's Saturday, and I have to play a show, right? Or whatever it is. And you've got 20 years of knowing exactly when what a Monday feels like versus a Friday or Saturday, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't realize that, you know, that Friday I play, but Saturday morning I got to wake up at 5:30 to make the radio show, to sing an acoustic after just using my voice till 2:00 in the morning, so I can bang out maybe 3 hours of sleep before I get, Elias, wake up, man, we got that interview. And I'm like, all right, la 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 la, you know, it's you know, I gotta pace myself. So sometimes you gotta hurt feelings. So that's mostly why I hide.
You know, the saddest part about, and I don't want to get dark with that sort of shit, but like, it's part of the unfortunate realization of what you need to do as a person, because your mind, you're such a happy, awesome person, you love people, you want to be in the energy, but you have to discipline yourself because people count on you. One of the things, I don't want to turn this into a singer's glory hole right here, but like, you said something about sleeping. It was like really, really apparent to me 2015 when we were on like a European tour, I think with Hailstorm, just how much sleep really matters. I got into, I don't know if you've ever had any of these situations happen, and I would love, maybe we don't have to talk about it now, but I got into a mental space where I just couldn't fall asleep because I was worried, right? About
absolutely.
things I couldn't control. And it would go on for 4 days. I wouldn't be able to sleep. And I would suck for 4 days. And then I would sleep and I'd wake up and be like, fuck yeah, dude, you know, or whatever. And I crushed that night. And that moment of from 3 hours to even 5 hours is like, it's like a whole new body, right?
Yeah. It's sleep. You get in your, it's so funny. Benji from Skindred actually, you know, opened up my third eye when it comes to that kind of like mental side of performance. What I have learned, you know, for anyone who's a singer out there, listen, this is what it's rest and water. Rest and water. You need rest, you need water. Warm up as much as you can. But Benji, one time I remember I was playing Ziggy's, North Carolina.
Yeah,
Spartanburg or North Carolina.
It's like two Ziggy's by the sea, and then the other Ziggy's, right?
No, it's the Ziggy's. It was the one with the really bad pisser.
Wilmington.
It was like a wooden stage. Winston-Salem. It was Winston-Salem. It was Winston-Salem. So
really bad
standing out.
That's fucking hilarious.
It was the worst trough. It was a trough pisser. It was the most disgusting smell, and it always smelled. It never didn't smell. It never like, hey, Seven Dust's coming tonight. Let's clean up the trough. No.
It's almost welcoming when you show up there like the 7th time you're on a tour. You're like, oh, I know this smell. I love this town.
Totally. But I got no voice. I'm absolutely shot. I can't talk. And I'm standing outside pacing. And Benji comes walking over to me and he's like, what's wrong, mate? And I was like, oh man, my voice, I can't talk. He goes, what's wrong? He's like, come on, man, you know you're going to do good tonight. He's like, come here. And he put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, come on, we're going to pray. He goes, Lord Jesus. And he sits there and he starts praying to me. He goes, Elias is going to have a good set tonight. I want you to give him the strength. I want you to give him the power. And I was like sitting there and I'm listening to this man literally pray me into hell. Yeah. Walked on stage and fucking killed it, man.
That's awesome.
Like literally. And it just taught me a lesson that the same thing that you do. Sometimes you have to, get out of your head and get back to the normal ground and get yourself grounded and get out of your head to perform. It happens all the time.
That's an amazing story. I just imagine him looking at side stage, like opening up that back little curtain and go, see? Totally.
Yeah. Too good, mate.
We've got a question. This is actually a super interesting question. I'd like your take on this. Melissa asks Elias, what female singer could, someone was replaced you as the singer and hit all the points on all the songs, what female singer would it be for you?
What female singer could sing in Nonpoint?
Correct.
Oh my God. What female singer could sing in Nonpoint? There's this singer out of Australia named Alexis Stevenson. She is absolutely amazing. She was from this band called Tai Sui. She is absolutely amazing. She spits like she's from, the Northeast. Like she's crazy and she's got a voice like a fucking angel. I would say she's hands down the best.
I like the question.
Yeah. I think she could definitely tear it up.
Okay. What's her name again? Yeah. What's
her name's Alexis. Look up the band Tai Sui. TAISUI. They just started a new band. I forgot the name of the band. It's because I'm delirious from driving since 5 a.m. this morning. But you got to check it out.
Northeast, are you talking about like Nas? Like, are we talking like okay,
yeah.
Sick. All right.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Checking that out tonight.
She is
all right,
so
Melissa.
amazing. I'm gonna pull it
Melissa,
up.
so check out Alexis from Tai Sui. Is that right?
Tai Sui, yes.
Tai Sui. So check that out. That's who would replace if he had his druthers, he'd never want to leave the band, but if a female could sing for Nonpoint, that's the go-to.
That is the one.
Right. Justin, you know what? That's probably my favorite. I'm probably the most creative in my. Oh wow!
That's
not only is that's a really cool photo too.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, everyone see it's TAI. Okay, gotcha. Okay, fantastic.
TAISUI, and check out Celestial.
Okay,
it's.
Chad, you were saying about the question?
No, I think that like the thing about talking about this stuff, right? It's really hard sometimes for me to like take myself outside of the back end, right, of the musician talk, where it's like, I find a lot of interesting conversation to happen about the idea of where your mind is during the process of creation and post, the darkest parts of it and the brightest parts of it.
Yeah.
But not often when I'm coming into this situation, do I have to, have a second every day I'm like, don't talk about things that people don't want to hear about, because I'm sure they don't care about that. They want to hear about the new music or whatever it is. And then you get asked questions, right? Sometimes that the fans will ask, that are like, so what's your favorite color, right? And you're like, it's green. Next question, right?
Right.
That was a really interesting way of like not only of cluing in more of who you are as your personality, because now we're looking at what you're listening to on the other side, but in a unique way by repositioning the deck of cards there. It's cool.
Yeah,
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Well, also shows that you're a fan. You have a depth of knowledge. I mean, listen, I've heard of a few bands in my life. That band I've never heard, and you pulled it right out of your hat, and just shows you that even people who do this for a living, they're fans.
Yeah.
You do research.
They actually reached out to me. I met Alexis about I'd say about 10 years ago, and heard her voice, she was fooling around on a computer playing some EDM thing that she made on GarageBand, and she was actually trying to play something for her sister, who at the time was like 12 years old and could literally kick Taylor Swift's ass in songwriting, and she was like 12. This girl was unbelievable. I was like, she just wants to know if she's like, I was like, she's amazing. You need to get this girl a manager. And then she was like, well, let me play. And she was flipping through this music and she started playing her stuff by accident. I was like, whoa, who's this? And she's like, oh, that's just me fooling around on GarageBand. I was like, you need to put a band together. And then 5 years later, she hit me up. She was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, holy shit. All
it takes a little push.
Yeah, man.
The onion too, the layer of what you just told, like you could have been somebody you stumbled upon, but not only did you stumble upon it, it came to fruition, and you're still a fan. That's crazy. That's
cool. It's so good. It was so good, and like I said, they're switching it into something else, but she's still the voice, and the guitar player Adam, his nickname's Churv, and Ronnie, their drummer and other like keyboard guitar player. They're just, the three of them are just this unbelievable just group of just minds. They get into a room, they really get creative. Their creative space where they write music is unbelievable. It's like, it's not emails back and forth. It's like sitting in there and jamming. They're like doing it for real. That's why I adore them so much, because they're in it for real.
Do you manage them?
I did for a little while.
Oh, really?
I did.
No, maybe you should.
No, I did for a little while. But just, I was, like, when I say manage them, I was just helping them kind of get their, bearings on what they at least needed to do, help them, pointing them in the direction of a good lawyer and how to copyright stuff, and just letting them kind of do their own thing, man.
Can we backtrack to something real quick? You were talking about being on stage and loving what's going on with the band, what you're playing. Let's kind of focus on the crowd. We have Matthew wants to know, out of the canon of songs you guys have, what's your favorite as far as the crowd involvement? Which seems to always kind of bring people to that certain level?
Crowd involvement, I probably say Hands Off is pretty crazy, because we normally get the crowd jumping during that song, and it's more of like a commanding thing. There's a bit of a spiel that I normally put out before that song. So it's a bit of it's a bit of that Pied Piper moment, maestro, fun. I a long time ago we did K-Rockathon, and it was I want to say it was Slipknot, Papa Roach. It's like way back. It was like 2004 or 5 or some shit. It was like 80,000 people. It was the most people that I ever played in front of in my life. And I remember not being able to see the back of the crowd, that the crowd was so in such a swell that I couldn't see the back. And I remember walking out on stage, and that was the moment that I knew that an audience's energy is absolutely measurable from point of stage. When you're looking out on stage and you make that turn and your eyes get, and you hear all of your sensory, once you absorb everything that is vibing from 80,000 people in one time, and you go, put your fucking hands in, it's, oh my God, it's like,
it's your scream for me moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
fantastic. Well, Matthew, there you go. I'm going to let everyone argue now on the comments about what song. Someone's going to say, whatever song. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Little fun thing. Maybe it's just only fun for me, but you said something that kind of struck a chord. When you walk out there and the energy happens, and you're like, put your fucking hands up or whatever, Yeah. I've been in so many situations where, like, probably shouldn't have said what I said that came out of my mouth, and somebody scolded me for it, or literally just told me not to do that, and then I went out there and didn't mean to, but my energy was so hyped that I forgot that thing shouldn't have came out of my mouth. Have you ever been in one of those situations where, like, not necessarily you said the wrong thing, but maybe it was just like, I'm not going to cuss tonight or whatever because I don't need those words to define who I am. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth is like, make some fucking noise.
Yeah. Oh, I have the worst say the wrong thing at the wrong time story you will ever hear from a band member in your life. It is Birch Hill in New Jersey. Remember Birch Hill, the old Birch Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Glassjaw, Hate Breed, all those bands that came through the Northeast, all the hardcore bands. Everybody played Birch Hill, and eventually it became Starland Ballroom. When it was the old Birch Hill, and it was fucking mob. It was full. We were like coming right off a bullet or some shit, and I walk out and I'm just flying because we had just done it was on To the Pain. We had just done a whole day of press in New York. So I had New York on the brain. The label's like, you guys are doing great. Here's fucking lobster dinners and everything's great, right?
Lobster dinners.
Yeah.
Seriously. You know that you're cool with the label when they give you a lobster dinner.
Yeah, they pick you up in the limo, but they send you home in the Uber.
Yeah.
What was that?
You got your ride from here or what?
No, wait a minute. The math's not right. We just left New York, and that day finished up press and immediately went to New Jersey to play a show. And I'm fucking amped, crazy. Walk out on stage. I'm like, "What's up, New York City?" In New Jersey.
Yeah, that's party foul.
What did you do?
I became Quagmire in that that Family Guy episode when Swanson's crying and he's like sliding out of the freaking booth. Yeah. No, I actually played it
down
off
on the floor.
Yeah, I actually played it off. I was like, I know I'm in New York, you assholes. I just kind of kept going. But I almost died. Somebody in the back literally wailed, "You're in New Jersey, asshole!" And I went, "I know."
Oh my god!
Yeah. I almost died.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
because of that, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, and I'll move on to something else because I do want to talk about this massively cool thing you got going on. But same thing happened to me. Only it was in Kansas City, and who came out, texted me that day to come out. He's like, "Hey man, we're gonna come to the show. Is that cool?" Lejean, standing side stage in Kansas City. It's not only just Kansas City and Lejean. I'm like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe he came to see our fucking band play, right? We're buds, but I'm also a huge fan. I didn't think he would have come to see the show, right? It's us. We're opening up. It's just us and Steel Panther, Kansas City, Christmas radio show. That's it. Christmas radio show for Kansas City's radio station.
Huge.
Come out. First thing out of my fucking mouth is, "What the fuck is up, St. Louis?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're not in St. Louis." And I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. But then I looked over and I think I saw, maybe it wasn't Lejean and with his friend that he was with. It might have been the singer from Not Otherwise. Anyways, I looked over and he says, he's yelling and he's like, "It's Kansas City." And I'm like, "I know, motherfucker. I fucked up, man."
Stop pointing it out. Why are you bringing up
don't
bullshit?
know where to go because we're in the song. I don't have the moment to say, "I'm joking," So I try to backtrack
did
myself.
No one else put some tape down for you? Hey, here's your. Remember to say this. Remember, no one put the tape down.
My drummer.
I'm the guy who would have put the tape down.
My drummer. We actually had to start making that note on my monitor every night. They actually had to write the name of the city because you get it. When you're touring nonstop, you're doing 6 shows, 11 shows. One time we did 22 shows in a row. I had 1 day off. I did 9 more shows before I finally had 2 days off. Wow. That's like 3 days off in a month and a half. It's like, sometimes
2 days in a row. Every night is Poughkeepsie.
Yes, basically.
Shit.
Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah, right. You can that one you can walk off and just say, "It's my Spinal Tap." Hey, you guys seen that movie? It's fucking great. Where am I at? Okay, hi Pittsburgh. Hey, real quick before we get to Chad, what Chad wants to talk to you about, we have one last question from Jason. It's about exactly what we've been talking about. Best memory of the Statement tour. Way back.
Best memory of the Statement tour. Okay, Statement was during the time that we went out with Mudvayne. Mudvayne was just coming out. They had a ton of buzz about them. It was crazy. It was like some of the shows were ridiculously packed, and then every once in a while we'd play in front of like 80 or 100 people. They were like just literally going out on their own. We became really, really good friends with the guys. That was my first night with Jaeger. We were in
Sorry.
Yeah, everybody.
She's a cruel mistress.
Everyone knows where this story's going. I remember I was pulled down from the bar many a time. I threw. Also, I woke up the next day with "I love Chad" sharpied on my ass from Chad, signed by the man himself, on my ass. And as he was talking to me and putting me in the van to send me back to my hotel, I was apologizing nonstop whilst throwing up my spaghetti dinner down the side of the van.
Oh my God.
Right in front of Chad and all the guys in Mudvayne, while they laughed because they were already drinkers and I was, again, neophyte.
That is hilarious. A. B, you kind of precursored Eminem, right? You know, that at that point in time you said spaghetti?
Yes, I literally.
And you were nervous, palms on sweaty, palms sweaty, mom spaghetti. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just
8 Mile, man.
That is
can't
so
mix German and Italian, man. It's not a good mix.
You know, just thinking outside of the box here. So that was on the Statement tour, right? So, what, 20-ish years ago, 2019, something like that? Well,
yeah,
20 years in the making, right? And you guys got a record coming out. I mean, sorry, you're going to be celebrating that record that came out 20 years ago with a live stream concert. Am I correct? On this coming up October 10th? Right?
Yes, this Saturday we're doing a bit of an online movie, and it's like a real-time live online movie. During production, we realized that we were capturing these stories that we were like, man, we need to post this stuff. And then we were looking at it and we were like, man, maybe we should play it during the show. It'd be nice to take a little break in between the songs and some of the songs. And you really don't have that, you know, back and forth banter with the audience. Anybody knows our band, they know that, you know, anybody knows any rock band. It's all about interaction and, you know, the experience of being up close and, you know, being blind from the lights and deaf from the music and smelling like BO because some dude put his armpit on your shoulder and you're like, what the fuck is that smell for the next 30 minutes? And, you know, there's so many wonderful things that come with you know, that live show. Let's not pretend that that's what we're doing here, you know. So we started working some of the angles and we were setting up some of the cameras, and Frankie, you know, Francesca, our creative director, basically was looking at it, and she was working with Rob Rusha at Uptown, and she was flipping through stuff, and she was like, you know what, this looks really, she's like, I think we could play with some stuff here and, you know, really make this like almost like a, you know, almost like a newscast. It's like they fly by the ear, you know, they're putting stuff up as things are going on. Sometimes interviews go a little bit longer, and then they have the next clip ready to kind of go. And we kind of started running a test with the team that we have, and we put together a fucking phenomenal team of, you know, lighting people and camera people, and decided to invest in it. And we did one song, flipping from camera angle to camera angle, and then going right into that first cut of interviews. And we were like, okay, this is different than anything that we've seen online. So let's make it something. Let's make it an event. Let's not just make it a performance.
I'm so excited. And this is you can get tickets at your website, right?
Yeah, go to nonpoint.com. You'll get a password to enter in, and then the player will be right there. There'll be a chat where people will be able to chat with each other during the show. But we're literally going to hit start on the cameras, and then start the first two songs and then go into a bit of the story. I think actually we're going to start with a little bit of a story and go into the music. And, when normally I would go, all right, guys, I'm going to say some funny shit here and y'all are going to jump off stage and blah, blah, blah. Instead of all that, we came up with something that we feel like is way more special.
I love the multimedia angle of what you're talking about here. I can't wait to tune in. Is there? It's on 9 p.m. I think on Eastern time.
Yeah.
On the 10th.
Yeah, but it looks like we're extending it. We were just going to extend it for the 48 hours after. I think we're going to extend it for a week because we've been getting a lot of people saying that even the 48 hours isn't going to be enough. So we're probably going to do it for a week. So keep your eyes out.
So you got to buy those tickets and go and see it now, right? Because afterwards it's going to shut down. Gotcha.
It's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. But you'll have your access code will be able to allow you to get in and see it as many times as you want, and enjoy it. The interviews alone, I'm excited. I mean, we've been practicing this thing for almost 2.5 months, and Jason, just what an angel. That guy's just really come to bat, and he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous on guitar. The guy's, a beast on rhythm. So that's basically what Statement was all about. It was, 4 dudes, just a riff, a bass line, drums, and, an angry Puerto Rican.
Hey, okay, we'll look for that, and we'll remind people at the end of this broadcast. So let's talk about the pink elephant in the room. Shiprocked for you guys, man. You along with a handful of bands, including POD, when we have you guys and you guys are going to play, we know that the show and the crowd are going to be just amazing together. So let's have it, man. You guys have been on it quite a bit. Let's hear your experiences with it.
Shiprocked is almost like Madison, Wisconsin for our band. If anybody knows our band, they know Madison is like Nonpoint, capital city. It's like the capital of Nonpoint Nation. Shiprocked became like our international port of call. The Shiprock community is more special than anyone outside of the rock genre will ever be able to understand. And it's because the majority of us got into rock and metal because we felt like misfits. And so we got tattoos and we got gauges in our ears and we got dreadlocks and we wear all black clothes, and even when we're on the beach, and there's a bit of a stare factor that I get being what I've been for the last 20 years going on vacation. So if I go on vacation and I walk through Disney or I walk through Universal, every once in a while I'll feel it, happen.
Yeah.
Shiprocked is the only place that I can go that no one is staring at anybody, that everybody can walk by fully tatted neck to ankles, dreadlocks, gauges, piercings all in their face, sunburned with 2 bottles of Fireball in each hand, and not be like with that. And
sure,
to get that kind of mental and emotional freedom on vacation that other people just get being average Joes is something that you're only going to get on Shiprocked if you're like one of us, and I tell people that all the time. Once you go once, you're my mother has been on. Everybody knows my mom. My mother has been on before Shiprocked. She had been on the Alaskan cruise. She had been on multiple Caribbean cruises, South American cruise, European. She's been on all the cruises. she will never do another cruise unless it's a shiprock cruise. She will only do shiprock cruises because she's never had more fun on a cruise other than a shiprock cruise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's an amazing.
Before this,
oh no, Chad, please. I just
no, I was going to say before your mother, before you did this, that was her first cruise. Then you're saying?
No, my mother had been on many cruises before, and then she heard I was going to be on this ship performing, and she's like, I want to go. She's like, I go cruising all the time. I know how to cruise. So her and my aunt got a room, and she came and she was like, I'm never going on another cruise ever again. This is fucking awesome. It was like nonstop party. It was like, she had a great time, man. So
that's
like I
awesome.
said, yeah, it's for people that want to, really let loose.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you bring it up about being on a cruise and everyone's so accepting and open-minded because that's what they come on, and they come on the first time and they're like anyone. They're like even the bands we talk to, like a little nervous, don't know expect. And after like a day, they're like, I get it. I understand exactly what this is. But to your point, it's like so accepting that it's with a lot of shows or concerts. Well, you go to a show and after 3 hours it's gone and I'll see you around, Bobby. Well, this one, they got names, addresses. They're hanging out after this year until the next shiprock. They're going to like birthday parties and let's all go to the same concert in the same city that's within 200 miles of us. So
yeah, the community
thing for that. So
the community is unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely.
It's super cool. But you're right. It's almost like the way the metal crowd used to be years ago. Like you kind of feel like it's this massive thing, but it feels like it's such a small little thing of just a couple of us. But that's not how it is, man. Because now as the shiprock keeps growing, we keep building this big pool of misfits, as you say, that just love each other and love what we do, and we love them, and we feed off each other. So it's amazing. So that's an amazing take, and I really appreciate that, man. I really do. And you've been around long enough with us to fully understand what the whole ethos of this thing is. So
yeah, it's unbelievable. And again, the support stretches beyond the boat with our band, and like I said, it's almost it's a whole nother just family of people that just embrace our band every time we're near any one of them.
I tell you, and maybe both of you guys can attest to this. When you guys first came on, at whatever point that was, and obviously you guys tour, you grow and you get bigger. But when you first came on, it's one of those places where you can go on as a band that maybe has an EP out or something. We snatched you up from somewhere, but those people, that crowd makes you feel like you're fucking headlining Madison Square Garden. They make you feel like you are something special, and that's awesome. And it's such a great feeling because I love seeing bands get that confidence boost, So
yeah, hands off has broken some lights below the stage deck on some shiprocks. So apologies to Pandora and Swarsy's Crystals. I apologize downstairs.
I thought you were referring to like a ship crew member or something. I'm like, oh
no, Pandora. No, the bracelets, the shitty bracelets you get for your grandma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was like, oh.
You like soccer? Oh, then get her this nice little soccer guy. I'm a singer in a band. Look at mine. I got a microphone.
Step up or get out of the way, Pandora. I had one question about the shiprock experience that to capstone on what what Justin just said. The first time that you came on there, it was a pretty magical moment for my band. For us, also super scary because we were literally, like I said, it was our first real. We got on a tour, but not like this. Do you remember the energy that you felt as you were just even pulling up to the port or walking on that ship? Do you remember that moment?
It was the first time that I did it. I actually was asked to come and guest within this moment and sing a duet with Maria.
Okay.
And it was on one of the first shiprocks. And then when we came on with Nonpoint, it definitely had, I remember the boat got a little bit bigger, and then the crowd, Yeah, I had never really experienced that kind of like buzz getting onto something like that. It's almost like that first crowd that goes into Disney, where everyone knows like, oh, it's about to go down. It's like, it's like everybody's already looking at each other like, okay, you're going to meet you at the bar. All right, as soon as you walk in, I'll meet you at whatever bar, just whatever one you see, just go there. If you see a bar, I'm going to be at it. It's like that kind of, that's what it felt like. It felt like we were getting ready to like go to
to war.
Yeah, man.
It's like abandon hope, all ye who enter here. So
totally. I had my patch over my eye. I had a hook.
It's so funny that you say that, because it does no matter what, even if you've done it as many times as Nonpoint has done it, right? You can see that energy, and people are like, it's kind of pent up right outside of there, and then you start walking on, especially when the noobs come on, and you see like those, you see some like some survivors standing here like, you're about to get fucked up, son.
Oh no, we say, I pick them out. I did one of my best. Can I tell you my best shiprock story ever?
Please.
Okay, so
by all means.
So it was the second time that Nonpoint had gone on as our band, and I remember I saw a lot of new faces. I remember seeing a lot of new faces from the previous time, and that I learned my lesson the first time. So this time I was sipping on what's called Miami Vices. I figure, hey, in the air tonight, Miami Vice, I'll drink one the whole time I'm right. It's half pina colada, half rum runner, and it's topped with blue Ciroc, which is like the blue. So it's red, white, and blue.
Dear God.
Okay.
Right. But you get the floater and you spice it up a little bit, right? So everyone is seeing me walk around with this red, white, and blue drink, and it's called a Miami Vice. Well, I was standing on the main deck and I'm drinking this thing nonstop. I'm probably on number 3, and this guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, what are you drinking? I see you drinking those for the last couple of days." I was like, "Oh, this? It's a French asshole." Yeah, you go right over there to that guy right over there. He'll hook you up with it. And I send him over to the same Filipino bartender, same dude. I keep sending people over because people keep walking up to me, and I keep sending people over to him asking him for a French asshole. And he's like, and for the first couple times, he's like, what is it? He's like, half a pina colada, half. It's like, no, that's a Miami Vice. And every time they turn and look at me, and I'd be like,
they're pointing at you, and he's like, no.
He turned around
French asshole. Him. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I did that for like 2 days. I kept sending people to the same dude, asking for a French asshole.
Dude, it's funny getting on there like in the morning when we're just clearing out everyone and getting over at the gangway, and you're getting ready to get everyone kind of on and taken care of, and you're like walking by tables and there's already like drowned, like buckets of beer that already been exhausted.
Empty.
You're like, how fucking long have you been on this? We just opened up, dude.
Upside down. It's like they literally like I don't break. Ain't nothing gonna break on my stride.
Ain't nothing gonna hold me down.
There it is.
Damn. Well, shit, man. We're sitting here at the 75-minute mark. Chad, you got any last things for Elias so we can do a little housekeeping here, talk about a few things, and let this gentleman get on with his evening?
Yeah. I got one thing. You got some merch for sale we can go find? Is there here? Did I find it?
Yes, that is it. There's not a lot available right now, but there is an entire line of statement merch about to drop with this show. This Saturday, it's all fresh designs. We got song titles, stuff, and special added pieces. I almost want to give it away here first. There's going to be some awesome merch, man. Let's just put it this way. There's something to sip a beverage out of that you guys are going to be so stoked about. They're so awesome.
Coffee mugs. Fantastic.
I don't even want to say it. Nope, not a coffee mug, but
damn it.
You're going to love it. You guys are going to love all the stuff that we got. The designs are awesome. All designed by Frankie. She's killing it as usual.
That's awesome.
All right, well, listen, I'm going to bore both of you guys for the next 60 seconds. So everyone out there in Shiprock land, if you haven't booked with us yet for May 2021, remember we moved from January. There it is right there. Thank you, Chad. We're at,
You're
look
welcome.
At that. Numbers don't lie. 90% sold. So we got 10% of our inventory left. So if you guys want to get on board, if this conversation doesn't make you want to be a shiprocker, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. So anyway, yeah, so get those. Go to shiprock.com. You can still book your rooms. And we also have opportunities to people who are looking for cabin mates. So it might cut you a little bit better deal.
Get a
listen,
roommate.
Guys. New eBay listing up went up today, guys, on IG. So go to our Instagram and look at that. It's the next piece. Remember, all of the proceeds from our auction for the Shiprock Clear the Deck auction is going to For the Nomads, and that organization is helping road crews who are out of work right now, and they just kind of need to stay afloat. So we are 100% behind them. So
how about the lampshade? How about the lampshade?
That's gonna be for Cancer Sucks.
All right,
so,
there you go.
There you go. So not to worry, but we've got plenty for the Nomads.
I want to put my bid in.
Starting bid is $1,000. No,
right.
I don't even know what I paid for that damn thing.
Right.
I let Greg and those guys handle that stuff. Listen, we want to early thank Al Van Halen. Al Van Halen tonight. Al, thanks, buddy, for opening up with your interpretation of Eruption and a few other Van Halen ditties to celebrate the life of Alex Van Halen. Whatever else here we got going on. Oh, guys, pay attention. Friday morning on our Instagram, we'll have the next surprise guest for Making Waves 14. With your 14 of these things, my goodness gracious. Other than that, Elias,
holy shit, really? 14?
Thanks. Yeah, do 14. Right?
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt that. You're a lucky number 13, Elias.
Yes.
I know, right? So just a refresher, guys. Remember, this Saturday, 10/10, it's going to be 20 years of Making a Statement. It's a streaming celebration for Nonpoint. It's $10, guys. That's less than a spaghetti dinner.
Yep, $10.10 on 10/10. So it's real easy to go to nonpoint.com.
And if you can't see a Saturday, it's going to live for about a week. So you guys do have times if you got other plans, but make sure and do that. $10 is nothing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Other than that, man, thanks, brother. We'll do a part two. We'll do a part two of you when things are starting to roll some more and you got other things going on. Because you're one of the ambassadors of Shiprock for us, as far as we know, and you're an incredible person, man. And
thank you.
People tonight were stoked to have you. This was a big, exciting one for a lot of people. So your family to everyone. So we thank you, Chad. Thanks, my brother. Let's do this again next week, shall we? Hey guys, also if you want to see Making Waves 1, we did number 1 through this one. You can always find us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. Just type in Making Waves and you'll pull us up so you guys can enjoy us nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that said, good night, Nonpoint.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me, guys.